Hey everyone, today I'll be speaking with you all on the global shipping problem that all of us are experiencing, why you need to know a little bit more about it, how it affects you, and understand exactly how this problem happened. Now, I specifically chose an article from Yahoo Finance written by Andy Serwer. He wrote it in a very easy to understand style, and that's why I want to be able to summarize all the important details that he wrote and just explain it to you all. Even without any finance or economic knowledge or background, I think you'll all be able to still understand it. Okay, by now you've probably heard of it. There's something called the world supply chain, and it's causing a lot of shortages and delays in everything that you kind of order online. Now, if it's locally, obviously you're not going to really experience this problem, but a lot of our products in this world is produced internationally, from other countries. So how did this problem happen? Like, why is there delays in my clothes from Asia, my computer parts, and some, equipment in a way? What exactly caused that? So Andy says that initially it's because the factories in Asia had to close for weeks because workers were sick of the coronavirus. And obviously the coronavirus has caused a lot of trouble for a lot of businesses. If you're sick, you don't have much people working the machines in a way, doing jobs, so productivity goes down, right? And this was true in Vietnam, and it is still happening right now. So for company safety, anytime you're sick, you know what, don't come to work. And because someone's sick, you have to find people to replace them, right? And so a lot of times people probably don't want to go to work because of the virus safety in a way. So a lot of people don't do that. And so that causes lower productivity. How bad is this? How did it happen? What does this mean going forward? How will this impact the US economy? And when does it even get solved? Okay, Andy says, let's first start off by understanding that actually 90% of the world, okay, global trade is shipped by sea. So let me tell you guys this: 90% of our international trade is delivered by sea. Okay, so when some products go to another country, it's mostly by sea 90% of the time. Okay, 10% is mostly from airplane. Okay, air shipping, and 70% is actually in containers. So a lot of the times when it's sea travel, 70% of those products are actually in those huge, rectangle containers that you might have seen a lot now. Yeah, in the past few weeks. Yeah, you've probably seen a lot of those pictures. And when it comes to US, their reliance on international products and on imported products is really high. Okay, imports from Asia across the border are up. China is the number one exporting nation to US, but Japan, South Korea, and Vietnam are also in the top 10. So in North America, a lot of our exports, so products coming into our country, is from Asia. And as you can see here, China is number one, and Japan, South Korea, Vietnam are also on the top 10 list as well. That shows to us how much we rely on these countries to receive our products. Okay? So you might be thinking, all right, the thing I ordered, why is it taking so long? Blame it on them, right? You blame it on Asia, right? In a way you could, yeah. But later on in the article, I'll talk about why you can't just blame Asia for this problem. Next one. Second, companies and consumers increasingly just rely on just-in-time inventory systems to order goods. What does this mean? Just-in-time inventory systems is having items or materials at your inventory when it's available for production. So when someone orders something, That's when it arrives. So it's materials arriving right before you produce a good. And when you do that, you actually have much more efficiency and also a lower inventory. So there's not that much, inventory, not that much inventory taking up a lot of space. And what Andy says here is, see, lower inventory, which reduces costs for these companies and allows consumers immediate gratification. That's kind of funny because that means consumers can get their products and then feel so happy just because, the minute they ordered, very soon they receive it. The third thing you should know is that the shipping business over the past decade has not been very profitable. In fact, someone calls it a freaking nightmare, which meant there was little investment in new ships. And because it's not a really, profitable business, not a lot of new investments are going to help upgrade the products, right? If it's always a profitable business, a lot more companies are going to put more money into upgrading the products, making sure it's faster in a way. But feels like it's not. Now, that means it's making America go at full speed with no room for error, okay? Which means that if something happens in these three parts, then that means there's going to be some problem, all right? When you have a problem anywhere in that supply chain, it's going to have a huge effect, like playing dominoes in a way. So, for example, they put, if the freight or the ship is late arriving at the port, that means the time scheduled for the truck to be at the port is wrong. Now you have to go back and reschedule. That's going to cause more delays and costs. And that's been happening a lot, okay? So, it's been costing a lot more money and more delays. As global commerce increases, and e-commerce economy increases, we haven't made the investments to really keep up with that demand. So as you see last year, our e-commerce business, it was on fire, right? Everyone wanted to order online in a way as convenience. And it was kind of like the only way for some of us. And because you make that huge demand in e-commerce, you obviously need the technology as well as the structure, the places to actually keep up with this demand, right? The production as well. Now, they also say global trade slowed as factories in China and elsewhere closed. The volume of goods to ship dropped. So in the beginning, when a lot of the factories shut down, the global trade, it really slowed, right? Because not a lot of countries aren't going to trade each other because of this virus. People were on lockdown in a way. So it was logical. It made sense that this business was slowing because, you're not going to really buy internationally in a way. And because of that virus situation, there's a lot of rules in a way. So that's the main thing, right? Now, go fast forward to today. The ports in US, particularly on the West Coast, and especially Long Beach, LA, where 36% of US import land are unloading record amounts of cargo, and that's where the traffic jam is the worst. All right? It's to say that demand for cargo ships is extreme. It is extreme, okay? In this chart, it shows the cost of a giant container ship. Okay? Now, in America, Long Beach is the place where a lot of the ships are sat at. Okay? So basically, a lot of the Asian container ships, that's where they stop at, and then they drop all the delivery, and then they go back home to Asia. That's what it is. And there's a huge traffic jam there. Okay? The traffic jam is huge. That's what they're saying right now. And they also say that the cost of renting one of these ships, in a way, per day, it's gone up 10 times in the last year. Okay, look at this. It's almost at 5,000. But you look at it in a year ago, not even like $1,000. Look how high this movement went up. This price went insane. That shows to you how much demand there is for these ships. Okay, we need these ships. We need more of these ships. That's what it's saying. Well, what does it mean in practical terms? That's what it's saying. Well, for one, the biggest, retailers like Costco just chartered a cargo ship for $80,000 a day for 1 year. So what it means is that they just signed a contract for a cargo ship for $80,000 a day for 1 year. So somebody was willing to rent one of the ships, okay, for $80,000 a day. A year ago, that would have been $10,000 or $15,000 a day. You see how much big increase in profit that is? That's almost 8 times, okay? Ridiculous. Another thing, Japan's Shogo Shosha, or Giant Holding Company, is looking to, charter a ship, which means put it in contract for $130,000 a day for 3 years, which would have been $20,000 a year ago. You see, this is almost a 6 times increase, okay, a year ago. The company that wants to borrow their ship would have to put $35 million for the first 9 months in cash on day one. Are you serious? That's crazy, okay? That shows to you the intense demand for these ships. Wow. Who's gonna pay for all that? We are, of course, via high-priced goods. Yeah, these goods that we're paying for, it's actually gone up in price as well. There's nothing that has really gone down, actually. Well, except for stocks, but a lot of the products you see today, they've gone up. If that doesn't scream inflation to you, you must be high, okay? It's real inflation that sticks around for years, okay? It's not going to be like the temporary inflation, This seems like it's going to be something that's going to stay for a long, long, long time. Another issue here is that while these big companies could afford to charter their own ships to get their goods, smaller companies can't do that, right? They don't have the money to do that, which is a big advantage to the big boys, and the little boys just miss out on that. So consider the economic implications of that. Okay, so the results of that. Big companies could afford to do it, small companies cannot. Small companies are gonna really, really have a tough time getting their own products. Okay. This month, the median cost of shipping a rectangular metal container from China to US hit a record of $20,000, almost 2 times of what it cost in July. Now, we're talking about this year in July, okay? So in about 2 months, it went up 2 times, which was twice what it cost in January as well. Okay, so it went almost 4 times compared to January, okay? And what's happening? This company reported more than $23 billion in profits in the first half of this year. So these ocean companies, the ocean carrier companies. And in the same period last year, they earned just $1 billion. In the first half of this year, they earned $23 billion. Mind blown right there, okay? That is insane. They've literally 23 times their profit compared to the same time last year. And we're still in the pandemic. But the thing is, we don't have much lockdown anymore compared to last year. It's also the case that truckers, so people that drives these ships and also trucks to pick up the supplies, they're overworked and overwhelmed as well. There are reportedly now 16 containers waiting for every available truck at the port of LA. Yeah, they're going crazy to hire workers. Okay, just how bad is the traffic in Southern California now? At least there were 60 ships lined up at Long Beach, LA. Okay, you want to check out these satellite photos? I got you. Check it out. It's amazing. So every dot right here represents a lot of cargo ships. Okay, these are ships going into Long Beach port. Okay, and that's the main place where shipping containers arrive at and deliver their products. Okay, look at that. And then you look at the past images, right, from past years. It's nothing compared to what you see now. Okay, but look at this. January, it's kind of building up. February is building up as well. But this is the craziest it's been. This feels like some zombies in a way. Okay, you can look at it as like zombie dots. Okay, we've never had this problem that intense before. Okay, fascinating. If 60 ships doesn't sound like much, understand that these ships are monsters. Yeah, these ships are huge. They're monsters. They carry as much as 23,000 units. Okay, 23,000 units of things. Okay. Example. This is a very cool example. An average dishwasher weighs 77 pounds. So one container could hold 700 dishwashers. Holy crap, 700 dishwashers. In theory, doing the math, a ship could hold 8 million dishwashers. Yeah, which is around the total amount shipped in America last year. So, 60s of these huge, massive ships just waiting to get in. Like right here. Like, please, we're stuck here. Let me just drop off my goods and then I'm gonna leave and go back home, okay? That's what their job is. The crisis has brought out bad behavior and bad consequences as well, right? First off, the fear of shortages has caused these businesses, big and small, to hoard their stuff because of delays. You know, because you feel like you're not going to get enough, you're not going to restock as often, right? You have to save a lot of your products, right, for future sales. Or else if you sell everything now, you have nothing to sell in the future, right? So you have to be careful of what you sell as well. And then, because there's so many ships right here, there's a lot of air pollution created, okay? And that's not great for the environment as well. So what's being done about this? Well, in the short term, they're working on a system that is that's going to be a better system in a way to solve these problems. So what kind of system is it going to be? Is it like finding different ports in a way so there's better options for these ships? You know, is it having more workers and all that? Is it having more investment in a lot of places? Is it building more ships and all that, right? You need a better system to really solve this problem, whether it's investments, you know, spending more money in that or not. When you click, you get the product, right? That's what we think e-commerce is. We click, boom, it comes out the door, just like Amazon services. No. American consumers in the pandemic have come to understand over-dependence on foreign supplies. Okay? We use Amazon a lot, right? That's because a lot of the stuff on Amazon is, you know, a lot of companies that Amazon sells for is in America. But the thing is, the products are actually made elsewhere. So that's the problem, right? Getting to America is the hard part. It's time for the US to rethink how to change the supply chain. For some products, it's time for us to produce them in America. For others, we can diversify and give it to, you know, internationally, right? Try not to rely so much on Asia, but take more responsibility and producing the products ourselves. That way we don't have this crazy problem ever again. Or maybe Americans just need to buy less stuff. Ha! Okay. Experts say this could go with us even past next year. Okay, with coronavirus rules, you got 200 countries with 200 different rules, right? Anything in the coronavirus situation is slow. Okay, it's very slow. Anything business wise. And now the holiday shopping season. If you want to have Christmas toys for your children, now might be the time to start buying them because the delay will be many, many, many months. All right. Or on the other hand, you could just make the gifts, right? Better than buying, right? That's what it is. Okay. I think just having a better understanding of what's going on around the world is very, very important as well. And I hope this article and my explanation today was able to help you understand a lot more about this shipping crisis. Okay. That way you can explain it to your friends and family that don't understand it as much. Okay. The factors that caused it, what's being done about it. Finances is important, and I'm just here to make it easier for you to understand, no matter your level. Okay, as always, it's fate that brought us together. Thank you all for the support.